Hey, welcome to Moyna Bass Fishes. So, it was dark here tonight, and I was sitting out in my boat, going over the map, trying to think of some places that I haven't been to where maybe I might want to try. And then my neighbor comes in from wherever he was, out to eat maybe. I don't know. I didn't ask. So he comes over to me, and he says, "Hey, have you ever been in a tournament where they've canceled 2 days?" And I knew the forecast tomorrow was for wind again, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they're never going to cancel 2 days. Well, wrong. My neighbor went on to explain to me that the next day was canceled. So, great. I didn't get the message because, well, I did get the message, but my phone was in the camper and I was in my boat, so I did not pick up that message right away. So yeah, we don't get to go fishing again tomorrow. I'm a little disappointed in that decision. I was a little disappointed that they canceled day one. On the other hand, I got something done today. That would have been put off for later, but at least I got that done today, and I'll be getting some more stuff done tomorrow. I can get some exercise in tomorrow. There's always the task of equipment, addressing equipment concerns. The tinkering with tackle, just tinkering with it, reorganizing it, or just tidying it up. That process never ends. It's a never-ending deal. So I can be messing with that. And then there's always I'm behind in my writing. What kind of writing, you might say? Well, I write stuff for sportsmanguide.com. I write, about once a month. Well, not even. Haven't been, probably about every month it's been, but I want to get it back up to once a month. I write a little how-to thing for them, and that they post on their website. And then also, every 3 months, I like to write a quarterly report that I send to my sponsors. So April 1st was the end of 3 months. You get January, February, March. And so I need to report on those 3 months' activities. And in case you're wondering, activities such as how many miles have I put in my truck? Why is that important? Well, those are the number of miles that I'm driving down the highways, back roads, and everywhere where people might happen to see me and see the Bridgeford wrapped truck, see the Bridgeford wrapped camper, and the Bridgeford wrapped boat. So that's all impressions. That's all of high interest for my sponsors. Well, in that case, Bridgeford mainly. So I like to have that in there. I also like to say something a little bit. I like to count the number of days I actually spent on the water and report and kind of break it down as to what I was doing. How many days was I practice fishing? How many days was I competing? How many guide trips did I do? How many photo shoots did I do? Even days where I go fun fishing. How many days did I go fun fishing? With who? And I always like to add up the number of people that were in my boat. So how many of those days were new people that have never been in my boat? How many, just kind of tell, just to let them know that, hey, I got the boat out. This is what I'm doing when I got the boat out. This is how many times I had the boat out. And these are the types of people in my boat, co-anglers or, writers or friends or whoever. So I like to have that in my report. I like to have my tournament performances in the boat or in the report. So basically, I just list out the tournaments that I competed in those 3 months that are covered by the report. Where I finished, how many people were in the tournament, and that sort of thing. Then keep an update on my point standings. Report, provide that information. Then also I like to include, and then also I'll just write a little paragraph or two about how I felt about the tournaments that I competed in. Maybe some just mention a highlight or two, sometimes a low light, but anyways. Then Then I also like to report on the upcoming tournaments. Okay, what are the tournaments that I still have for the year? And so I'll just list those out and then provide the dates, locations. So I do that. And let's see, what else do I do? Oh, any social media, any activity on the World Wide Web. So, like, I like to report on my Facebook page, how many followers, how many new followers, um, that sort of thing. Then also with this YouTube channel now that I've got, report on, how many subscribers, give them the most recent number, and also the views, provide that information, and so they can get an idea of where I'm at with that. And also, if they so choose, well, I also like to, in the report, I also like to compare the current numbers with the number 3 months ago, just to give them an idea of what, you know, and to see what kind of growth I have with it, give them an idea what the growth is, and so see what they, just give them an idea where I'm at. What else? What else do I like to do? God, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Time on the water, tournaments, media. Yeah, other media. The writing I do. I like to, if I've written a couple articles, I, tell them where those articles can be found, and let them know how many I did. So that's important. Any sort of and any sort of other media coverage. It was on a TV show, was I covered a frequent, did I make a top 5 or top 10 where I had a lot of coverage on online streaming in the tournament, or just maybe in the TV show that they make out of the tournament. So any sort of media exposure is something they like. So anyways, so I will be writing my quarterly report tomorrow. So that's one thing I can do. I didn't do it today because I had some other things I had to write. Some things that were more of a personal nature. Well, one thing was the obituary for the funeral home, for their website. The obituary of my dad, that would be. So, and the funeral home has it. So anyways, so yeah, that was some writing I did. It took longer than I thought, because I wanted it to, I don't know, it was just wanted to be right, whatever right would be. And I've never written an obituary before, ever. So that was something new. So what else? Anyways, what else is on my quarterly? Oh, I already kind of went over that. I feel like I'm leaving something out. But anyhow, yeah, day 2 tomorrow's canceled. Can't believe it. Doesn't seem right, but yeah. And why they canceled? Because of forecasted high winds. We had high winds. Well, actually, it was calm to start this morning. Then the winds kicked up probably late morning. Looks like it's going to do the same thing tomorrow. They do this for safety reasons. Bass boats are not made to be driven in big waves. You can do it. You're going to get wet doing it. You're going to might spear a wave doing it. You certainly will get wet, but it can be done. So the safety thing is taking a higher priority lately in the recent years. You're seeing more canceled days that in the past would have been competition days that would have gone on. I just got, because I'm old school, because I've been in it a long time, and I've seen just hellacious waves in practices and in competitions. I'm just more inclined to say, hey, let's just go fish anyways. But safety is an issue, especially when you have, like in this tournament, you have a pro and a co-angler. The co-angler, they're the amateurs. So why, I guess, safety. And where you draw that line for safe for going and not going, I guess that's a big decision for a tournament director to make. There's a lot of there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm sure they sleep better at night canceling the day, knowing that safety's it's going to be a safer competition when we do go fishing. You know, the worst thing, a tournament director's nightmare, I can only imagine the kinds of nightmares and dreams a tournament director would have, because as a professional angler, I have all kinds of weird dreams regarding tournaments. In fact, just last night, I was I remember I had four in my dream. I had four good fish, and I couldn't find another fish to save. I mean, even though I was seeing all these other people around me catching fish, and the weirdest thing of that dream was we were fishing like in a neighborhood, like somewhere in the city. We weren't fishing in the water. I was like flipping to people's bushes in their yards and flipping to mailboxes and casting, and I'm like, how am I going to catch a fish here? But anyhow, so the tournament directors and their dreams, I'm sure their nightmares must involve, something just catastrophic happening in one of their tournaments. People don't come back, I guess would be the biggest thing. And that's, unfortunately, that has happened. So I certainly can't, as much as I might sit there and just complain under my breath and maybe bitch and moan to my closest friends. Well, now I'm bitching and moaning to you, but not really. I'm just saying. But you have to put yourself in the tournament director's shoes, and that how could you sleep at night, or how could you live if something were to happen in a tournament where you could have said, no, we're not going fishing, but you said, yeah, we will go fishing, on a weather sort of a situation. Boat accidents can happen in calm water, but the likelihood of something bad happening when it's really windy is greater. So if you send people out in bad weather and something does happen, that's a tough pill to swallow as a tournament director, I would think. I know for me it would be. And how can you how can you live that down? I mean, I just looking back at the thing that happened at Lake Okeechobee a few years ago, and I think Bill Taylorstedt was the substitute tournament director for that one, and it was bad weather. But the thing on Okeechobee is, you do not have to drive in those waves. You do not have to do it. There's rim canals. We went out of the calm side of the lake, and you never had to go across the lake. But somebody instead of taking the rim canals around, somebody decided to go straight across the lake, and the co-angler died in that tournament because of that decision. That poor angler. That's just an awful deal. So again, safety is it trumps. It's the trump card. It just, especially this morning when it was like 5 miles an hour or less wind to start the day, and here I am sitting in my camper looking out over the cove out here from my campground and just seeing how beautiful it was. Just beautiful this morning. And here we were just, stuck on shore. The winds did come up. Dang, it's just, why do these accidents have to happen? Why? Even earlier this year when I was on Rayburn, I filled my boat with water one day because of big waves. Even experienced drivers can make mistakes. I still do not know how I speared that wave. It was just it was totally caught me off guard. But anyways, the experienced drivers can run into problems. I did there. Luckily, the boat didn't completely fill. It filled up as much as I've ever filled up a boat, but the bilge pumps pumped it all out after 10 minutes, and we got on our way. So I guess the point is, you can, even experienced drivers can make mistakes, and certainly guys that are maybe not used to big water, they probably are even more prone to me, or maybe they're less prone because they're going to be more careful than somebody who thinks they can master the big water. Maybe somebody like me who's done so much big water just gets overconfident and gets cocky, and next thing you know, you swamp your boat. So, even if you've been in, but hey, all right. I guess I've rambled on quite a bit in this video. It's I guess it's because I got time on my hands now. Here I am. Now I'm like, I get to sleep in again. I got time on my hands this evening. I don't have to worry about rigging tackle and getting to bed early and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I'm just amusing myself by listening to myself talk. I hope you've enjoyed this little chat we've just had. Although it's a one-way chat. Maybe you're falling asleep. Maybe it's the last thing you turned on before you fell asleep. You're in your chair or in your bed or wherever. So anyways, let's just kill it right here. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. Over.